My soul will be in a state of unease. There's no way to send your destiny to the soul. They can't enter the world either. You must first bring a solid soul. But my soul seems to be something very strange. It's reasonable to say we've fallen from 3 to 2. The soul may have to turn off a new flame. But the yellow key is only slightly weakened. See if you can practice again very quickly. Even though this life is in my soul, there are too many strange things. The harvest this time to the world. It is worth dying once. God of the earth, just to get into the thousands of Lai Sun Hamap. I don't know how many stones I can give birth to. At this time, suddenly luggage fingerprint, welcome. Call your brother. The surprised photographer asked his brother. He rushed to exclaim it was a pity. I can't protect you. Laughing, he replied to a small thing. If you don't go, it will hurt 7 more. If you have any questions, ask the gods. The Lord is still grateful. Do you care? That made my luggage very surprised. I was going to ask again when suddenly someone came. That's the constant effort. They have also just been resurrected. The manager laughed when he saw that. This is not an attempt to hang on. Why did you come out of the soul? He gritted his teeth and said, luggage. Please remember to give me this debt. We're not done yet. The captain laughed and replied, that's a heavy word. We have not sinned against you. Why do I have to say that? He tried to block his throat repeatedly. I told you not to hurry. It's best to be a little careful. Then tell the subordinates to leave. Following him were countless defeated warriors. Be resurrected, come out. The manager looks at the feeling of not a few people. There are about 400 people laughing. This was enough to make him sad for a long time. Let's go too. Go to your place first. Payment of spiritual stones for the brothers, luggage, etc. Happy acceptance. Shifting the night away. The photographer returned to the hospital. He's sitting in the practice room. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. The photographer went out to the gate muttering, any beauty who comes in the middle of the night looking for words. When I opened the door, I was surprised that it was Dragon Ball. Then I asked her if she was a Dragon Ball. What kind of clothes are you wearing? She hesitated to ask the master. Can you clear the air for me? I heard that you have returned, so come here immediately. Stupid photographer asked if there was a need to hurry. Long Yu Yan said, of course, I want to know how great is your own potential. What does it feel like after emptying the acupressure? The photographer spoke to her. If so, go into the room with me. Long Yu Yin is obedient to Theo. When she came into the room, she said, my father's old servant. I've helped you send the news. Want to compete for the position of the owner? Your strength needs to be stronger. That's right, master's martial arts. Suddenly, she was blushing. When a woman in a room with a quiet night. Make her a little nervous. I have never been in the same room with a man. In the evening, suddenly, the photographer bluntly said, take off your clothes. Make Long Vu sound jerky, shoot people. He told me you didn't take off your clothes. How do we light it? It made her blush, and she had to do it. Hurry up and take off all your clothes, to reveal the white skin on the body. Only the cloth remains. Turned her chest shy sitting. Face flushed. So tense that sweat started to break out. Look at the photographer pulling out the brooch. Then the Dragon Ball reached out his hand. Then take off the rest of the towel. Make the bewildered photographer scream. Wait a minute, that's enough. When she heard that, she nodded softly. Get up and come back and say that. Let's get started. Long Yu Yin pulled up her hair. He reminded me it could hurt. Don't move around. Hearing the pain caused Long Yu Yan to ask questions. I am the body of the chain. And even weapons. It's hard to make us feel pain. And then I hit Kim in the back. A sense of wonder came. As the rays appear. This needle is like a catheter in her body. A pain came that made Dragon Yu sound for an hour. The photographer reminded me not to move. Long why and wonder in my veins again. To hide such power. Photographer laughed softly. Haha, this is just the first Kim. He took me to the second needle. When he touched the flesh, the dragon dance began to groan. I'm so nervous and sweaty. Lake fetish needle pierced her flesh. After a while, she breathed out. I said I used a needle. Spread across her vital acupressure points. Next, the blood vessel chain strengthen the body. You will slowly wake up. Then shock her 100 circuits. He laughed and said, you should practice hard in this place. Long Yu Yin nodded in agreement. My hands and feet dragged my body out the door. I think the needle costs a lot. Tired. He came out in a hurry, closed the door and breathed. Suddenly, the words suddenly stand in front of you. Make Regent Jerk shoot people. They threatened to kill me. What war are you fighting? The devil entered the world, but the words still look cold. It's hard to understand photography. I asked him how to do it. Black face like that. You're not going to the world. Then they were killed. Near the voice. Ask you to do something like that. You deserve to stop being a kid. I was surprised to ask if something like this was. Why do you stop worrying about children? I hate to talk. You make yourself clear. I was in a hurry to ask you what you meant by the Dragon Ball. What's going on? Listen to me explain. But before I can say it, the words are flying away. Stupid photographer who realized. It seems that he misunderstood my relationship with the Dragon Ball. Don't worry about stopping the baby. She could have been my wife in a previous life. It's not true that it's your turn to manage. I don't think the word means anything to Dragon Ball. The two of them know each other. If not Dragon Ball, what does the phrase mean to me? Think about here. He scratched his head and said he couldn't. How can that be? In the room, Long Yu's moan echoed endlessly. Just like that, half an hour later, the light inside flared. This light is shining through the room. Shining straight up into the sky. Photographer amazes. I thought this was a wake-up call. That's at least 5 levels. The future is afraid that the faster the practice will. He pushed the door and told me to come in. And suddenly, she's flushing and screaming, Tai Lam. The photographer quickly closed his ears, blank eyes full of confusion. Let's see how you scream. Then suddenly, itchy eyes, the man under her seat. It's the scorched cloth that's falling apart. To reveal the flesh in front of you. Long Yu Yin was afraid to take the cover. The photographer realized that everything was on fire. I was so afraid. Then hurry outside and close the door. After a while, Long Yu Yan went out and hesitated to call his master. He came to ask Long Vuao. The acupressures cleared. She said it's all been solved. Laughing, that's good. Then I told her to try again on her own. It will definitely grow very strong. Your VI is already so strong. I am no longer fit to be your teacher. But Long Wu Yen firmly said no. I have made you a monk. No matter what, you are my master. I laughed and said I was just kidding. You're going to be late at night. People are watching. I see you think badly again. That made her face flushed like a GAC. Then run a circuit. Go back and tell the master. The other day we came. The photographer looked to sigh. Think this time the phrase has been misunderstood. If the next night comes, I don't know what's going to happen. In the late night alone, dance and shuffle back home. Suddenly, someone appeared in front of me. That surprised her. It turned out to be a brave lake. He immediately chalked up, "Where are you going late at night?" And he said, he's pissed off. Long Yu asked you to follow me. Where are we going? What are you doing? I will follow you, and I will not forgive you. The lake sounds so annoying. Turn to say, the Dragon Ball seems to see through you. You're really just a whore. This word made Long Yuyan angry. I looked at him clearly. I was looking for a man at midnight, and didn't he know? Shame on your voice asking what you said. You repeat again. Look at her eyes in the air. Dung Lake gritted his teeth, said Long Vu Yin. I scolded. Who are you? Don't forget you're my fiancé. You're not my wife. Sooner or later, I will kill your man. He finished swearing, breathing like a running dog. Long Vu went to the tunnel. Eyes declared, don't think there's a family to rely on. You can do whatever you want. Just as you deserve to be my fiancé. She said she stepped on one foot. Then he shot straight at the bottom of Ho Dong. That's why the nightingale stopped singing. Dung Lake hugged the bird's nest, but moaned silently. Get down on your knees, lying on the ground. Long Yu Yin stood breathing without breathing. Suddenly, some people rushed in. Worried about the lake. Ask the young man who did it. Long Vu Sound is also exhausted, then launched the catapult. Turn the scene on the photographer's side. Now he's back in 1,000 Lai Sun heap. Sit and practice and breathe out boredom. Raising the 6th level is too slow. Long Yu Yin is already 5 fate. We can't be left behind with people. Fortunately, the gods can only recover. There's scale. Spirit stones in the future do not have to worry. And then he looked over at her and wondered. Dance goddess Deem. I don't know her VI now. What level have we reached? Maybe she'll get past her spirit of fire soon. It's better not to bother her than to go. See what Kim is doing. He jumped down to see the little chicken. He's got a full stomach, and he's sleeping. The photographer looked at. I think this guy in the picture is sleeping and eating. It's better to take it out in the wind. But before that, needles are not bigger and smaller. Why is it starting to grow up again? He laughed and said, I am here to practice with you. If only there was a god. You don't have to be sorry for the Ganoderma. 1,000 times more effective. Let's see how many new blocks can be restored. So he started practicing. Very quickly, the yellow soul was burning again. He was dumb enough to say all 3 pieces. It's a little bit too good to be true. He just kept practicing. 5 days later, used up a bunch of spirit stones. Gas burst strongly. Inside the soul of Hai Ba, the soul's mass burns equally. Suddenly, another black soul appeared, immediately promoted to the rank of 4. The surprised photographer asked if the black SAO was getting more and more strange. What color will be next? Transforming the inside of the world. The incessant blasts echoed in the gods. She and 6 adventurers faced down the lead god. 6 fun jokes. Haha, love Min. We've finally hit a lead god. Try to agree like this. There will be a stop in the world. Can continue to recruit more fake powers. 6 wonders. Only this low-level god can attract SAO guru. But try to answer with a straight face. It's just the difference in spirit stones. What we lack most is money. More important than God. This is the first place of love. I turn to say that everyone can practice in this place. The soldiers immediately shouted to the wind. Quickly, the night falls. My friends have camped here. Someone is running to get the message. There's a powerful man called Ngok Min. He said he wants to join us. The photographer is soaking in the lake. Surprisingly asked Ngok Min SAO, how do they have a background? She stroked her chin thinking. It's a small force in the world. Probably about 60 people are basically divine. Compared to other forces, it's nothing. It is also considered a clean force. 6 adventure to the top. This is something you know too. You know, you're right, and you ask them. Why would anyone want to join us? The subordinate replied, they say they're working too hard in the world. Because the power is too weak. The other big powers don't want to take them. I've heard recently that power is being built. Come here and ask. 6 surprisingly asked very weak. Why do we collect them? Try to have fun, of course. Other forces are worried about carrying too much. Not accepting people, but we're not like that. The photographer said, take as much as you can get. Order them to come in. The curly-haired man led the crowd to salute his father. We are inflammatory. She said that if she joined the group, I have to follow my rules. Are you clear? Smiling, we understand. Try to hold hands and say that. Let's sign the contract. Inflammation immediately follow. Then remember, Ra is right. We hold a low-level god. Something is about to dry up. I still have 10 people to watch. Do you want to or not? I tried to ask God why. Of course, I do. After you join the love, I will send people to receive God's will. Of course, new people join. They all enjoy the benefits of love. The inflammation is over. Have fun. That declared to the ancient brothers, Min and Gok disbanded. Everyone is cheering so well. The next morning, the news came out. People come together to talk about this. I heard that Ngok Min has joined the Love Min. Persistent inflammation is able to disperse the power that I have built so hard. Analyze what you think. Every year we guard the gods. It's also been a whole year. There are only 10 stones. Each member of love. They give out 10 spirit stones every month. Analyzed here, the young man mused for a while and decided to pack up and go. For a period of time, the forces are dissolving in turn. In 1 month, I have received 10 members of the forces. Of course, the photographer also collected 10 lead gods. The power is so strong. Love Min finally made SAO can feed that. But the photographer is now in the picture. Are scavenging for spirit stones. There's a lot of complaining about spirit stones. You're tired. At the same time, in the temple, people are gathering in the Middle East. The head of the horse-face buffalo tunnel tiger full of murder. Always ask for the purpose of calling you. You must have known my love for such a short time. It has recruited more than 3,000 people. It does not even suppress the development of love. Until then in the temple, our words will no longer carry weight. After listening, everyone stroked their chins. One who speaks up, "Dear Lord, we have calculated it. Now that boy is trying to. You have to spend more than $100,000 a month. He can expand. SAO can expand. How many spirit stones do you have to consume? More. Just like that, they'll disband themselves soon." The others agree, yes. This amount is not a small amount. He doesn't need us to play like that. Always be angry and remind you to think like that. Then wrong is even more wrong. I have heard that love does not stop, or still blatantly expanding, as long as they're all over the place. A puzzled guy asked, "Is it possible?" Murong Wu stood up to confirm that we have investigated as well. It really is. They do have a large amount of spirit stones in front of them. I haven't seen the dry anomaly yet. A young boy at an auction used up nearly 40,000 spirit stones. I think they has got the Museum of Ancient Energy. That's why we can waste it like that. The young men finished listening and were astonished. Fold the discussion hand. That kind of thing can't bring the world. They can't steal. My face was cold and said, if in their hands, it really doesn't stop to have the spiritual stone of love Min Kao, so what will your subordinates think? They'll be the same as before. You can do that. Like love Min gives such high conditions SAO. Always agree with the grave, you say no wrong. Love is breaking the rules, if you let them continue to grow. In addition, it is the great gift of the late. The future, if you sit in the position of the owner. Until then, we can all say nothing. Then he took a deep breath. Then we say we have another way. You have the support of someone. I just need you to come together and help me. Love will not go far. The young man invited. The old man made it clear. He gritted his teeth and said, we're all connected. It's able to mobilize nearly 10,000 to 6,000 people. You can absolutely crush love. Love is still not developed to the point where they can intimidate us, completely choking him from the egg. They looked at each other hesitantly. One asked the old man. He is now the first heir of the family. But we are not like you. Unfortunate for no reason. We dare not offend the heir trying Ra. Try to keep your eyes open about this. It's not about my own interests. If you let love continue to grow, you can't all live in peace. Today, we are all one family. If only you would help me destroy my love. We can copy part of the truth. I give it to you. This fascinating word amazes everyone. The maxim is the secret of the city. Only the most gifted. That can be learned. Once you move out, you will be liquidated. Try to tell the truth. Try to confirm. No wrong language, 9 top for code Nan trace. When they hear this, they immediately accept me. We do it too. Try to keep smiling, thinking of wasting my words. SAO, I can give you my word for you. At this time, a man came to ask the old man, why don't we get a confirmation? We are also more trustworthy. Try to answer, of course, but we're going to use the manuscript to seal the evidence. Waiting for you to come with your testimony. We'll unseal together. The young men looked at each other, then also agreed. So we're all laughing together, huh? Transforming the inside of the world, in the name of love. And 6 adventurers are directing the brothers to practice martial arts. Then someone comes in front of them. Made 6 surprising adventures. Inflammation lingers on the ground, with a bruised body full of wounds. Breathe red and tell me to call Ra. We've been ambushed, and we've lost 7 more than 100 people. 6 surprising adventures called persistent inflammation. Tried to throw knitting medicine for hang inflammation. They say this is a cure. Hurry and eat. The inflammation takes it. Try to be serious and speak clearly. What happened after all? He ate medicine and told me. We've been ambushed by a swarm of rogue asteroids. We're not rivals at all. We are the only ones to escape. Trying to get angry, near the voice of a phony constellation. I finally tried not to sit still. Turn to your subordinates. Order your side, call the rest back. I can't wait here anymore. We first retreat to the temple. The officers received clear orders, then get out of here together. When they're flying in the sky, 6 disgruntled people say, this is what they are. I teased him why I'm a peanut all of a sudden right now. Try to be amazed. In front of them was a black crowd. Like FLIs, to close the sky. The leader is the old man, aggressive with horse-faced buffalo heads. He smiled contemptuously at his brother. We haven't seen each other in a long time. She is currently surrounded with no way back. Immediately speak up. I haven't seen you for a long time. So many people come to visit me. You Don T just want to say hello, do you? Try to speak up. We want to work together to negotiate something. Try to calm Tai Ra right away. I think there are too many people today. I'm afraid we can't go alone. Try to laugh. If you're trying to get in the way. No competition for the position of the owner. At the same time, love is dissolved. We may not have taken into account the previous feud. The future strengthens the road to hold the market together. Try to hear that. Aesthetics are so generous. It's just showing off your genius. He was alone. This kind of person will agree to run the family with me. Only the devil believes. I laughed fake. I said I feel that disbanding Love Min is still possible. We will definitely return. Consider 3 days later. How to give the CA Road the answer. This word tries to make you stupid. The men looked at each other in wonder. 3 days later. We've had to summon so many people. To destroy love. Come back like that, you're kidding. Try to laugh contemptuously. What name do you not take back? Getting a love name is easy. It reminds people of God's love. He waved his hand. The subordinates immediately rushed closer and tightened the perimeter. Face full of gas. She laughed and said, you really know how to joke. It's just a word. Does it have anything to do with love? And then I glanced at these tigers. Try to reason. Because to avoid trying to get into the wrong way we do. Road brother, of course, I have to teach you well. He immediately ordered the killing. Rural thugs. Blood rushed up to the chorus to kill. In a hurry, tell everyone to run. The enemy is too numerous. They're so virtual that people can't leave. You have to fight. Hang Inflammation proposed to say 6 families. Let's get you out of here. She agreed to say break through the ring together. Then throw a blow. A bright energy source. From the head of the old man. Some of the enemy's subordinates were immediately colored. Try to look at the cold. I want to run Sao. His eyes lit up. And then launched the Lao minute to get there. Then the source of power sent the blow. The two lovers looked at him. He told me not to harm. He hurriedly used his body to stop this attack. Immediately, a 7-bar scream. 6 found that. Amazing. When the 2 celestial brothers were directly killed. I'm screaming to be careful. Try to hear that laugh. I'm a star at the top. Are you running in the sky? The electric hand is immediately approaching. Try to declare death. You know, it's not okay, King. The body can't move anymore. The body seems to be about to be crushed. As the technique gets closer to him. Suddenly, I tried to fall in. Space from the sword of the photographer before Lamb. Try to be amazed. Look at the sword in front of you. Without being content, thinking of dying in the hands of God. Unconsciously reading the sword. Then suddenly, the sword in front of me was alight. Immediately gathered into a dazzling sword that appeared. That's what makes you confused. The meaning of Ra is in the word. And then he put his hand up to control the sword. A sword that comes out of nowhere. It rushed straight to attack the hang. Fortunately, he was able to hide, but still slashed a line on his face. It makes the blood red. I try to keep my eyes open. Try to look at the sword. I wonder what it is. I tried to get my mouth shut, but laughed haha. The refreshing smile makes the attempt full of confusion. You are really lucky that you have tried to take a leap of faith. This time without you. We can't be unintentional either. Swordsman, this scene. Hearing this makes my face hard to understand. She continued to say that she only needed to have a sword for this scene. You killed me so that my soul would remain in heaven. My power will one day overtake you. Why are you forcing me? These words make me crazy dog. What's the point of the search? Just martial arts cat scratch also dare to fake the SAO scene. They want to resist me. You are far behind. At this time, a servant in love with Min shouted out to try Ra. We're down to about 200 people. Try to be amazed. I always laugh like the season. Ha ha ta see. You, how much celestial energy can you condense? You can still use the sword just now. He said he was ready to move. Aesthetically, his energy should be exhausted. But for safety reasons, keep your distance. And then he said, go to hell. At this time, a strong hand came to try to break, but he stood still laughing softly. Try to be full of pleasure. Then suddenly another air sword came. To break the seal of the hang. Turn him upside down. After a few rounds, he was confused and asked what was going on. I am also curious to open my eyes. Then realize that the luggage van has helped. Behind the action right now, the brothers came to the aid. I try to surprise my luggage. Someone shouted, announced that all 3,000 people are coming. Then look at the hordes in front of you. It makes me angry to ask my luggage. You want to come out and help me? See how many people there are. If you want to put your hand in, I don't mind destroying you either. Luggage replied, my husband only does one thing. It's the air inside. Love is my brother. If AI makes it easy to love Min, is that it's easy for the celestial Min? I try to speak with my tongue and so on. If you want to, the whole universe is involved in this. Then don't blame me for being unkind. As you can see, his followers are hesitating. Call the great celestial Min, although there are more than 3,000, but the brothers of Li Van are all over the world. There are a lot of people who are old. Once we start a war with the heavens, the war will escalate. The scale of this battle is unknown. To what degree? Right now, he ordered the killing to stop his followers. A police officer couldn't help but shoot. If threatened now, we really lost our face. So the whole crowd came. The luggage immediately swung the knife, joined the brothers in the battle. Both sides rushed into battle, but the numbers were uneven. The losers fell from the sky, straight to the ground, the sound of 7 voices echoing endlessly. The love side is worried. Enemy too many defenders trying to lack. Next door, there's a long-haired muscle rolling down the pond. The Lao came. He turned to the old man. If you keep fighting like that, we are not rivals. The luggage confirmed that it was so hurried over here. I can't believe there are more than 2 coalitions. If you wanted to start a war, then we have to play along with them. First of all, the escort will leave today. Next time, I'll find him. To execute orders, everybody, follow me, come on. Luggage and throw a kick to the enemy jaw. Lead the brothers to open the way. Blood rushed up to try to get angry. Why did you dream? Immediately order his followers to stop them. Bloody thugs rushed to kill. They're all coming. But fortunately, he ducked. On the contrary, throwing blows. That's why thugs are fed to their mouths. The madman rushed up. Follow the men in the back. And they managed to break through. Escape from the enemy. The men of Heng were thrown down. Gaggle moaning in pain. Stand by and watch them leave. But a bitter heart. To hate. Many people like that are still surrounded by him. But they don't have many left. Whether it is Love Min or Celestial Min, 7 is much bigger than me. This is just the beginning. Thinking silently. In the future, I will kill you all from the world. Everyone quickly returned to the cottage of the motto. Current situation report for photographer. He asked if there was anything like that. Ask everyone how you've been hurt. 6 responsive face drop. We have gathered through love. We've lost 7 more than 3,000 people. There are only a few hundred successful people left. Retreating from Heaven Min also hurt 7 not less. At least 2,000 people. You are sad to tell the truth. You may not need to participate. Harm the planet Min. 7 so many people. Luggage and so on. How can you speak these words in the world? Brother in distress. I can't possibly keep my head down. In the world for so many years, this battle of 7 cannot be considered too big. We have a lot of people to deal with. Stop him before you hit him or run. That's right. Always try to gather with the blood forces of the Moon Min. Declare war against you. How are you prepared to respond? If you decide to go to war, I can contact a little brother. Help you deal with it together. The Blood Moon summons several thousand people. It doesn't matter. Hear that? I tried to turn to the 6 adventurers to look at the photographer. The photographer is currently thinking. Folded hands said, I feel. You don't have to drag so many people in. Our people are enough now. But I need your help. I don't know if you will or not.